Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, everybody out there in the internet world.
I is your host. Host is my name. Not really. Let me slip into something more, a little bit more comfortable. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Give me 1 second and we'll start the intro, and Zealeus will. Oh no, cool transition! Give me a sec. You'll see the intro in just a second. Just give me a second, sir, okay?
All right.
Zealeus? Son? I'm not exactly sure what you're doing.
I'm looking at the sleep thing.
Okie dokie.
I was entertained.
Okie dokie. Artichoke.
Or the artichokes? I don't like artichoke. Should we get some spinach instead?
Spinach and artichoke together.
In a dip?
In a dip.
And you make it with some cheese?
And some dip.
And then you get some chips. And you salt those chips up and life is good.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's just get right into it, shall we? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Celtic Fusion Thursday Night Hangout.
What's up?
What's up? Ladies and gentlemen, I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific comer himself, Zealeus.
It was good to see you, sir. It's been too long.
Indeed. Zealeus, of course, had to fight against the robotic apocalypto-icness. Something like that?
Yes, but Skynet has been averted for at least one more year.
And?
We won. And so, therefore, we go on to the World Championships, which means there's no Skynet because we are there to protect the world from Skynet. If we're
Only
not for
one more
that-
year?
What?
Only one more year? Well, he can only guarantee one more year.
Yeah, I mean, next year, we have to go back to the same tournament to win it again. So every year, like the last 3 years, we've been winning and staging off Skynet.
So what you've been trying to say is that you have to prove yourself again and again and again.
And basically, the fate of the universe rests in my young high school's team.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, no, that's it. That would actually.
How do you sleep at night, sir?
I really don't.
All right, so ladies and
But
gentlemen,
I
this is...
sleep during the day, during class. It's great.
Ah, there you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this, of course, is the Thursday Night Hangout. This is a show for you, by you, where you, ladies and gentlemen, can add your voice, your opinions, your thoughts, and even your topics and suggestions by just dropping them into the chat. Yes, Zealeus keeps vampire hours.
It makes my cat much happier.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
And then
All
I
right.
sleep with the robot, and everyone's happy.
That's got to be painful.
I give her some cushions. And
Oh, the robot's a she now.
Well, you know, she's kind of my love child.
Okay, this is getting creepy. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into it, shall we, before it gets too creepy for me to...
I mean, we could try.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, the first thing, of course, as many of you know, there is a... Really?
Yes, there is.
There, of course, has... Hold on. Damn it.
I think Charlie has lost his marble.
I have lost my marbles, because... Okay, anyways, so I'm going to skip that, because I can't figure it out now. So, ladies and gentlemen, man, way to go, Charlie. High five to me.
Yeah, right there?
Yep, I think so. So, ladies and
Need
gentlemen,
more alcohol.
I haven't had any alcohol.
Exactly.
There's the problem. All right, so let's go into the tough-hitting topic. Ladies and gentlemen, you may recall that back in, I believe it was 2018, there was a lawsuit for gender discrimination against Riot, of course, the masterminds behind League of Legends, and of
Legends
course...
Runeterra.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That too. Is that actually the name, or did you...
No, I
just
think I actually
foobarred
figured it out,
together.
yeah.
And it's also now Tencent's baby child.
This is true.
So anyways, so as you might remember or recall, the lawsuit basically stated that female employees were treated differently, but with disrespect, derogatory terms, all that stuff. There was apparently some sort of settlement that basically stated that $10 million payout to be distributed among the members of the class action lawsuit.
Okay.
The group of individuals who are doing this lawsuit have since fired their lawyers and have gotten a new law group because it turns out they could probably actually get $400 million.
Wait, are you saying 10 million and it's not 400 million?
No.
Small difference?
Yes. So basically, I mean, more power to these people. I mean, you treat people. Injustice does not work in most cases.
Until you get away with it because you're the big bad bully.
Well, we're not going to go into politics.
Well, aren't we already into politics?
Potentially, but I'm trying to skirt the issue. But anyways, so, I mean, it'd be interesting. Injustice doesn't work till it's in the video game.
Ooh.
Yes, and one of our fans, I can't remember what his screen name is these days. Patriot fan, I think, was a huge Injustice fan.
Never played Injustice.
That's a good fighting game.
Yeah, I haven't really read much about the story, so I'd be kind of curious to see where the 10 million that they got and why they think they can get the $400 million.
I think because I think they're going after the 400 million because of back pay.
Oh, yeah, back pay's important.
Yeah.
Well, if they got fired or terminated due to this, then yeah.
Fun times. So anywho, that's still going, and some may recall that there was actually a riot walkout where all the employees left the building in May 2019 in support of those individuals who were being persecuted.
Obviously, that unfortunately didn't seem to go far.
Well, at least, yeah. I mean, well, the lawsuit's alive and well-ish. But more power to you. Now, I don't know I can't figure out if this story is true or if it's fake news.
Isn't there always fake news? Isn't that part of news, is whether or not it's fake or true?
So there is a game out there called Plague Incorporated. It's by the creators of, or it's a pandemic simulator.
Oh yeah,
which basically causes highly infectious bacterial or viral infections to spread across the world.
But it's a fake board game.
Of course. Well, it's a
Pandemic is, at least.
Pandemic's a board game, but Plague Inc. is it's an iOS. It's an app. So apparently, the game includes content that is illegal in China now.
Now,
which
was
everyone's
that like actual comma now.
No. It goes. The developer was told by the Cyberspace Administration of China that the game includes content that is illegal in China. Which
no
basically,
information given.
let's see here. The fake news update introduces a scenario in which players may create a disinformation story and then deceive the world using modern tools and psychological tricks. Oh, those sons of bitches. Okay, see, the icon that's on this picture for here I'll post the link in the chat room. But basically, the picture that they showed had fake news written on it, and I was like, oh God, is this real? It is real. The developer decided to get a little ballsy, and one of the new viruses is a fake news scenario where you scared the shit out of everyone with a fake problem.
Right. Well, of course, in China, they can do whatever they want and pull any product from anything in the world because it's China and they can.
Yeah. So, I mean, I understand. Actually, the fake news thing has been there since December the 4th. And, of course, it's just getting a lot more play because that people are thinking that might be the reason. Plague Inc. is wonderful. They added an anti-vaxxer option. Oh, my God.
Do you automatically die if you choose anti-vaxxer?
I'm sure you do.
Get measles at age 6 and then blame it on, the other people?
In a statement made mid-January, the developer noted that there was a surge in interest in this game because of the coronavirus.
That's probably why the game got banned, is because China's the epicenter of the coronavirus. And so they decide to somehow save face, I guess? I don't even know. But now I wouldn't even know this game had existed if this had not happened.
Oh, dude, I played the crap out of this game. This game is old.
Oh.
Yeah, Plague Inc. has been around for, oh gosh. Plague Inc. has been around.
It's not exactly new games, what you're saying.
No, it's not. Actually, I might actually have a link. I might have reviewed it back in the day.
Oh, damn. That is back in the day. Though.
Yeah.
I definitely have not played it.
Let's see. Let's just try Plague.
Come on, you can do it.
Wow, that's great, Charlie. You moron. No, just a bunch of me writing, this has been plagued by this. This has been plagued by that. But anyways.
Oh, that's an interesting way to see what words to use often.
Yeah.
Oh, you should do a Wordle of altered confusion.
Oh, dear God.
That'd be interesting, I think, actually. What do you think would be the most commonly non-A-N or the in altered confusion on the website? I think we should find out.
It'll probably be so. Pandemic was originally released on May 26, 2012.
Oh, that is a while ago.
Yeah, and they've continuously evolved it. It's a fun game. Don't get me wrong. It's, of course, morbid because, you know, I mean, it's basically Pandemic just in a video game format.
But now,
Gesundheit!
psych. Now people stateside, though, are going to be interested in checking this game out to see why was it banned.
Well, as if they know about it. I mean, you know, you go to certain certain pages, you know, certain websites. It's this beautiful thing called marketing. If you go to your regular websites and they tell you this, then you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. But the vast majority of the world probably has no idea about this because it's not on CNN, I don't think.
True.
It'd be funny if it's on CNN. Let's check.
I would highly doubt it. It's not going to be above the fold.
Okay, above the fold does not exist.
On the internet, it sure does.
Depends on how you're.
Do you have to scroll down? Then it's below the fold.
Video game company urges players to avoid Plague Inc. game for information on coronavirus. But that was back in January. Gesundheit! Zealeus has caught the sneezing plague. And he's gone. So, ladies and gentlemen, now that Zealeus is out of the room, muhahaha. All right, so anyways, interesting. I always like it when you have countries and ban games for some reason or other. I know that I think it was like Sniper Elite was banned in most European countries when it first came out. I'm sure that there's a bunch of games out there that that Korea can't play. China, Russia probably doesn't give a shit. No, that's true. Russia does not give a shit. As long as you portray the Russians correctly, and that's drinking loads and loads of vodka. Yeah, I was just talking about, that it's always interesting to see what countries out there ban games and for what reason. You know, of course, Korea, one of the Koreas or both the Koreans have banned games. China's banned games. European Union, the EU, has banned games. And I was going, Russia doesn't really care as long as you keep it true to the source material, and that, of course, is they have to have vodka. Vodka. Anyways, so moving on from the plague. We've talked about this several times at this point, about the Overwatch Pro League. Now, Overwatch Pro League has already gotten into its third week, which I still don't understand how this season works because it's in its third week. But there are teams out there that haven't played a single match, and there's teams who have played several matches.
Travel and stuff?
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyways, the coaches of the Overwatch League were polled to see who is the best team in the world, which is the San Francisco Shock, which is the team that won it all. And then, of course, the worst team is the Houston Outlaws.
Boo!
And right there in the middle, well, not really in the middle, kind of more near the top-ish, is the Atlanta Reign at number 7.
Hometown!
7 out of 20. So, just a little shout out. Go and Lane Rain. And I should have worn my jersey,
I'm
but
curious how many
didn't.
weeks there are.
20?
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Who knows?
All right, let's talk about something that. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, at any point, if you have any topics, questions, or anything that you want us to delve into, please drop them in the chat window. We will completely derail our conversation from what we have prepared for you.
Or we'll just derail on our own.
That too. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, there is this game that Zealeus and I grew up with called Baldur's Gate.
And Icewind Dale.
Well, this next story is just about Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
Baldur's Gate, of course, was one of those fun games that had like the damn like brochure pamphlet that had 6 CD slots.
But you know what's better than the 6 CD slots?
What's that?
The actual game manual. The spiral bound notebook that you can look
Yeah,
through
buddy.
and look ahead and like plan like your spells and your feats and everything else. And that was fun. Yes.
Remember when games had CDs?
Until,
Oh, yes.
Until like one got scratched or you lost it.
Or was encoded for the wrong region.
There was something nostalgic about it, like having to change a disc.
Yes.
When you went to like a different zone, you had to put it in. Yes. I was always like worried that like when I had to change out a disc, especially on a consoles scare me more for some reason.
Mhm.
But I was always scared when you had to do like a disc change, like it would crash the system or something.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
lose
yeah.
everything.
Well, I mean, it's the same principle, but at the same time, the video game, it just seems so much more fragile because, with like the PC, you're playing a game inside the OS. To
Yeah.
you, like when you play the video game, it's that. So if I take the disc out, it's no longer a video game.
Instead, now we have like 60 gigabyte video games.
Yes. So, anyways, Baldur's Gate. There has been an announcement for Baldur's Gate 3. And of course, everyone's going, I want
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3 to be just like the original Baldur's Gates.
But better.
Then you have people going, whoa,
Whoa.
Baldur's Gate is based in Dungeons and Dragons, so I want every single skill, spell, item, character type, all of that. I just want you to basically shove, what are we in, 5th edition now?
Oh, I say, what edition are we using for
Just
Baldur's Gate?
shove 5th edition down our throats, because that's what we like.
So is that what if we're going to use this 5th edition?
Um,
What about 2.5e for life, man?
Yeah, Thatco. Woo!
I like using my abacus to play board games.
You need the abacus, a slide ruler, and divining rods. They should make it just like the cartoon for D&D was. Okay, so I actually own the cartoon somewhere. It's terrible. It's funny. It's terrible. But anyways, Baldur's Gate 3. Let's see here. Of course, people are trying. They want nostalgia, and then of course, if you're resurrecting a game that has been around for over 20 years, we want.
I don't want nostalgia. I want a new, good RPG. If I want a nostalgia, I'm going to play Baldur's Gate again. No, if they come out with a Baldur's Gate 3, I want a new everything. That's what I want. I don't want a rehash. Like we talk all the time in video games about how like there's no originality. It's the same thing over and over. Like, no, it's like Baldur's Gate 3. Okay, you stay in the same universe, D&D, whatever. But no, I don't want to be like Baldur's Gate or Baldur's Gate 2. I want a new game.
That's scary. Because now you're going into the unknown. Yes, you're in a universe, but you're going in a different direction that's never been gone before. Oh my God, it's Star Trek. But set in the Middle Ages. Anyways, so the developers behind this, Larian Studios, basically they are saying that it's gonna be closer to the Divinity series format, the feel and the look of the game. Which I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't played Divinity in a long. I think I played like the first or maybe the second one. It's been a long ass time. However, if you're gonna give me a Baldur's Gate, I think I could.
I know the last of it. I never played it, but it got high praise. But apparently, it's also hard as balls.
Most RPGs are.
Yeah, they don't know how to do a whole lot of hand holding. This is truth. Most. Well, that's always get me like these like RPGs where you have like the 4 people. Like you have to basically like from the beginning basically know how to like max mend them to build your character correctly.
What?
basically, if you have a healer, make sure they're a healer. If they're a fighter, don't try making your fighter into like a thief who can also then parachute off of cliffs.
But I want to make my special, unique character that could do everything.
Yep, jack of all trades don't win fights.
Jack of all trades don't really win in life. Oh no! I just hurt myself.
So that's I always spend my time like ahead of time, like already figuring out. Okay, I gotta do this with this character, this with this character, because otherwise you're just gonna not be able to beat the final boss.
Well, for me, when it comes to RPGs, I'm usually the kind of person that prays. Okay, here's a funny thing about me. I hate grinding. I hate it. However, in a situation where I want to be OP, overpowered, by the way, I will grind. I just don't want to be forced to grind. There are games out there that literally, okay, you kill all these guys in this section, and then they're gone forever.
Yay!
But then there's also the ones that, they respawn. As soon as you come out, as soon as you leave the area, you come back.
That's why it drove me crazy about Final Fantasies.
Ooh. Speaking of RPGs and gameplay, what is your least favorite gameplay loop?
I'm not sure what you mean by gameplay loop.
I'm going to say, with my interpretation, I'm going to say those wonderful quests where you got some dude standing in the middle of a town center. He tells you to go all the way out there to go get me 7 wolf pelts. When he comes back, he tells you, oh, by the way, I needed the 10 wolf nail clippings. But you weren't allowed to get the nail clippings because you were only looking for pelts at the time, so you have to go all the way back out there. And so this back and forth bullcrap.
Along the same lines, I really hate when MMOs, when you get to like a city, and like it's basically filler quest.
Yes.
Where like all the NPCs in town have they go get me 7 pelts. I'm like, damn it, can't you just go yourself and get your own 7 pelts yourself? It would have been a lot quicker than waiting for the hero of destiny to go get your 7 pelts.
Because they say they offer like 60 to 100 hours of gameplay, but a lot of it is like go deliver A to B, and you do that 20 times in between the story. Okay, so yes, one of my least favorite, actually one of my, I would say probably the top thing that bugs me, of course, grind. But one of the things that I can never stand is when the game forces you to basically backtrack through areas that really end up not doing anything for you, but it's for the sake of elongating the game.
Sure.
It's like, oh, yeah, you got to go to this hidden temple that happened to be back like 10 stages, but you have to walk through those 9 to get there. There's no fast travel.
Okay, speaking of old RPGs.
Yes.
I'm totally derailing now.
Okay.
Microsoft has said the Xbox, whatever 5, I don't know what it's called, is going to be fully backwards compatible with Xbox up to now.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows what that actually means.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just hypothetically speaking, it can play, just for the sake of argument, every game from the Xbox universe. What is the one game from the Xbox you would replay now on the magical new Xbox 5 with magical backwards compatibility?
Ooh, that's a very good question. Xbox. Damn, that is a really good question.
Mine would be Jade Empire.
Okay, Jade Empire.
Was a
I know
fantastic
a lot of people would go KOTOR. I know that.
KOTOR's classic. Can't go wrong with that. See, my experience with KOTOR, though, is on the PC. So KOTOR, I don't want to play on the console. So it's almost like that original fascination with the game and kind of how did you experience this. For me, I have to say Jade Empire. Especially if it comes with better graphics.
Aha.
You know, the magical ray tracing, which makes everything look prettier.
That's processor intensive, sir.
Magic pixel dust. Apparently the new Xbox is going to be full ray tracing all the time, brother.
Okay, well,
I'll
okay.
believe when I see it, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, it's not just that. I think that, that's a heavy hitter. You know what? I'd like to play Alan Wake again.
Ooh.
I would really enjoy playing Alan Wake again. I would definitely be down for another round of Alan Wake, not Rake.
I was like, his name changed. Oh no!
I'm cheating by looking at this page isn't actually available on Alter Confusion anymore, just because it was such a pain in the ass because I had to manually update every single thing for when I changed the.
It didn't like automatically update with your tags.
No, I did. I basically shoestring this thing together.
Nice. Shoestrings and duct tape. That's how we run the world.
Jesus. Yeah. Do I have any original Xbox games, or is it just 360? I think it's just 360. Okay, so anyways, yes, Alan Wake would probably be my game. But anyways, speaking of RPGs, ironically, here I am bitching and moaning about grinding and all that stuff, but I actually picked up an RPG for the Switch this weekend. It is called Labyrinth of Refrain. It is by NIS, N-I-S, which is basically the people behind Disgaea, I believe. Labyrinth. I can't spell labyrinth. Labyrinth of Refrain. Wow, I cannot spell. Coven of Dusk.
It's on Steam.
It's a dungeon crawler role-playing game developed by and published by Nippon Ichi Software. It was released in Japan in 2016, and the PlayStation Vita 2017, and the PlayStation 4. So this game actually gives me a nostalgic feeling because it is one of those, like the old school game RPGs where you didn't actually see your character. Your character pictures are on the bottom of the screen
weird, yeah.
as you walk through a dungeon, like basically square by square. It is quite interesting. You basically control these puppets that are powered by this book that you throw down this magical well that ends up. The well is basically the top level of this like infinite labyrinth that's hidden underneath the city. But the city is more than what it seems. So it's interesting. I mean, there's definitely several different layers of complexity. Every single character can use every single weapon. However, they've got a grading for each weapon. So, like, if you are a mage using your staff, you have an S grade. But using like a hammer, you have a D. So the functionality of the item is greatly degraded.
Is it like turn-based, or how does that work?
So what will happen is you set up all of your actions and you hit go, and then it'll basically do I guess whoever's got the best agility or whatever, but you don't know when. It's not like I fight and then it's not like you got, let's say you have 4 characters and 2 characters go before the monster and then 2 characters after. So you do that 2 first and then wait to see what the monster does. No, you have to you have to do all 4 actions before the battle jumps in.
So I have a real question now.
Yes, sir.
Are any of the dot hacks on the Switch?
I don't think so.
Like,
that would be awesome, though.
Like, dot hack would be perfect for the Switch.
Agreed. They need to come out with a new one.
Well, that's one where I could use the nostalgia and just play dot hack GU again.
Mm-hmm.
I'd do that.
I like dot hack.
I still have not played the remastered version on the PC.
I think I have it.
I did. I haven't bought it yet.
Mm.
Well, I also have had like 100 hours to sink into it.
That's
one of the
thing.
reasons why I'm like, I want it, but
maybe later when
well,
I
think
have more
that's one of my problems with
time.
playing like these RPGs is like, when we were younger.
Oh God!
You could play.
Seriously,
like,
you're gonna go with when we were younger?
We were wee lads.
But we were just a wee lad.
We had no real life responsibilities.
Oh God!
Like you could play like a 60 to 100 hour game in a couple of weeks pretty easily, right? Like you could sink some time into it. But now it's like, wow, I play this RPG and like it's all I can play the next 6 months.
Yep.
And the problem is we've all encountered like you play it and then you can't play it for a month because life happens, and you try picking it up a month later and you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna play a different game because I have no idea what the hell's going on now.
So okay, so let's talk about games that that definitely have some length in them, and then having unfortunately life happens and you don't have that the ability to continuously play the game. Now, here's my issue. One, yes, the story. So if you go if you go away from the game for too long, you try to come back, you're like, I have no idea what the hell I'm supposed to be doing. It's the same with for me, it's the same as, let's say that I've got an anime that I'm digging, and then the next season takes a hell of a long time to come in.
Yes.
And then it might start in a weird place. You're like, I have no idea. So you have to rewatch the first season to get into the next season. It's kind of like that for me. Like I would, if I was that that determined to continue to play that game, I think what I'd have to do is I would put the game to super easy, play a little bit of it just so I can get the flow back, and then go back to my original save game.
So like television doesn't really bother me. Like for instance, like The 100, I took like 3 seasons off from watching The 100 because like I got annoyed at something in the show, and I picked it up again, and I could like binge watch 3 seasons no problem. Like oh yeah, I remember this kind of from previous seasons. So like television doesn't really bother me too much for like, yes, I have a corona in my eye. So that doesn't.
No cervezas this evening, sir.
So that doesn't really bother me, but like video games, it's also like the mechanics and like that shop you have to go to every once in a while that you're not going to remember. That you're supposed to go to a certain place to check things out. So that really is what annoys me.
Have you ever played any of those games that punish you for trying to play the easy mode?
I have not.
No, but I have played games that basically that dumb itself down without you being involved, so you could kind of gain some momentum and then jack the difficulty back up. But there is definitely, I mean, when you say that you punish, if you get punished for playing the easier mode, there's a lot of ways that developers could do it. They could take away like your EXP. You don't get as much EXP, or you don't get as rare items. They penalize you that way. There was a game.
I mean, that's a really popular.
There was a game. I swear that would make it was kind of like tongue in cheek. It kind of made fun of you. Like it was just it'd be like beat it'd be like your enemies were like push over 1, 2, and 3.
Now, like loot makes sense, like especially like online games. Loot for easy versus hard mode makes sense because you get rewarded for the gear based on the difficulty.
Right. Yeah.
So like that I get, but it seems like especially like single player games, it's kind of like some people just want to play a single player game for the experience. So why not just let them play an easy mode if that's what they want?
So the what they're talking about there, the Disney game that literally won't let you finish it if you pick the easy mode. Technically, there are a lot of games out there that that won't give you the true ending unless you're at a specific difficulty. So you get a ending, but not the real one or the best one, which of course you have to do like super duper hardcore. Whatchamacallit. So, I mean, I could see that. I mean, there's always ways that developers and games try to jack with you with the difficulty and stuff. I mean, hell, there's games out there that that with the increasing the difficulty, your loot gets better. Your
That's pretty normal.
XP gets whatchamacallit. So, I mean,
I figure for single player games, let the player play the game as they want, regardless of difficulty level.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to fish on super easy, no enemy mode, why not? Because part of the purpose, particularly for single player games, should be the story. Now, multiplayer games are engaged with different people. You got PvP, that's different. That I can
could you
understand.
actually implement a difficulty setting in a multiplayer game?
A lot of times for instances, yeah, it's very normal.
Well, okay, so but like overall, I don't think that. I mean,
Sure, like so. Remember, like Guild Wars. Guild Wars 1, everything was instanced, right?
right? Well, yeah, of course. Then that way you can control it completely. But I'm saying if in like a player, like a co-op world, some developers have even come out saying there are background algorithms that make the game easier, even if you set it to nightmare mode, and some other cheeky methods to keep it from being impossible. True. A lot of racing games do this thing called the rubber band effect, where if you get too far ahead or too far behind,
Oh, yes.
the competition will get closer to you. Either you'll catch up to them or they'll catch up to you, just to make it more enjoyable. I
Well, that's
feel like Dark Souls is like the game that it's hard as balls, and if you keep dying, it starts getting a little bit more simple so that you can kind of grasp the system instead of doing the perfect timing on your blocks and all that stuff.
Well, you got like the Civilization series where it's notorious for the difficulty ratings because AI is so hard to do. They just let the AI cheat.
Of course.
Because it's like, what else are you going to do besides give India more money and more technology so they can nuke you first?
Well, let's be honest. When you're playing with house money, when you're playing against the AI can have any type of trick or something that's physically impossible for the gamer to do, but they have that algorithm or function implemented just to keep things interesting.
Yeah. Give you that extra challenge, even though it's only because they have more money than you.
Or something around those lines.
Well, you know.
So we've kind of dove into a topic that I was asked about, so I'm just going to continue that. And of course, that topic is there are things out there, be them movies, books, songs, video games, paintings, whatever the hell you want to say, that should never be remade. Now, of course, the most popular one to talk about, because of the creative way the director has basically willed this movie franchise, Back to the Future, cannot be made again because Zemeckis has this awesomely weird will that basically says, as long as I'm alive, there will never be a reboot of the Back to the Future. And as soon as I die, it goes to this trust that says Back to the Future will never be remade.
Isn't there like there's a movie that they're trying to remake? No, what was it? Princess Diaries that they
Princess Bride.
Thank you, Princess Bride that they're talking.
You cannot do that.
I agree.
Nope. Nope.
What I find more interesting is kind of the same idea, is creative works that should not cross mediums.
Ooh. Like a book that shouldn't be turned into a movie?
And like the first one that always comes to me is The Name of the Wind.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, The Name of the Wind, it's as good for like, it's a great book, great characters, all that good
Patrick
stuff.
Rothfuss, by the way.
Yep, Patrick Rothfuss, amazing book. It's more about the prose and just the way he has this way of writing than anything else. Like, to me, it's like the perfect book from a writing perspective of the way Rothfuss is able to pen his novels. And I just don't want to see it. Like, for me, like, George R.R. Martin was perfect for a movie, honestly. Or not movie, sorry, the television series.
Yeah.
Like, it was a good book. I've read them. But it wasn't, like, the best writing in the history of mankind. Not to say it wasn't bad. It just wasn't the best ever. So, like, that made sense if it was a television series.
Well, let's be totally honest. For anyone out there who has read any of the Song of Ice and Fire, I hope that I'm in the majority here. If I were to have like all the books in front of me, I could not read them back to back. I'd have to read one and then read some like silly, funny, haha book because I become so depressed by the lack of love and support for the characters. Because at any time you're like, oh, this is your favorite character? He's dead.
Yeah, so basically my break from A Song of Ice and Fire was the Harry Potter series. Those were my books in between.
Mine was the Harry Dresden series.
There you go.
Which is a great series, by the way. I highly recommend it.
See, it's all about the Harrys.
Indeed.
So that would be mine that I don't want to see translated is The Name of the Wind.
Cross medium. I didn't even think about that. But the thing that comes to mind for me is a specific song. And
What's
I think... And
song?
a song. And I saw a cover of it, and I wanted to cry. I wanted to just curl up in a ball and disappear because this should never be remade or covered at all. And that, of course, is Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody.
But sometimes it can work. So, for instance, Johnny Cash is hurt.
Okay.
Or sorry, I have that backwards. Nine Inch
Nine
Nails
Nails
is hurt.
hurt Johnny Cash style.
Yeah, which then Johnny Cash. So the original Nin version is really good. It's a good song. Nine Inch Nails isn't really a band that you think about being covered too often. But then Johnny Cash covered to such an extent where Trent Reznor's like, yeah, that's his song now.
No, yeah, absolutely. Okay, fine. But that's like, that's like the the 1 in a million shot. Yes, there's
That's fair.
definitely bands out there that are able to take a song and cover it better.
Well, let's be honest. Johnny Cash is like
Yeah.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah. And
He's Johnny Cash.
just listening to that song was just like amazing, and then watching the music video, I was super misty-eyed through the entire thing because oh my god, that was raw.
You know what I'm over though?
Hmm.
Disturbs the Sound of Silence.
Yes,
Sorry,
it's way overplayed.
The original one is just better.
Well, the Disturbed Sound of Silence has just been played so much.
Well, that's fair. But still, Simon and Garfunkel is just Simon and Garfunkel live in New York City is like one of the best albums of all time.
Okay, anyway, so back to Bohemian Rhapsody. The reason why I say that
Who
is
covered? I have no idea.
Kanye West.
Oh, well, okay.
And that's why I said I wanted to crawl into, cry,
Well,
curl up into a ball and
To be
die.
fair, that's not our genre, man.
I don't care. I don't. There's some amazing rappers out there that could do beautiful things to like rock and roll songs. That wasn't one of them.
Like, I'm not into Kanye, but from what I've read, Kanye, from an artistic perspective, is actually apparently really talented.
As a producer,
I don't know. That's the extent of my knowledge.
that's my understanding as a producer. But anyways, the movie. Okay, so we said Back to the Future. We said Name of the Wind. Damn, there's another one I wanted
You know
to
what
say.
I'm actually really surprised of in retrospect?
What's that?
That was really good.
What's that?
Lord of the Rings.
With the extended cut or the theatrical
Well,
cut?
both were phenomenal. Like, the theatrical cut was, I thought, really good, and the extended cut just makes it better. But just in retrospect, especially how much they mutilated The Hobbit,
Mm-hmm.
and you look at what they've done, some other extended ones, like, Harry Potter's an obvious one because that was 8 movies. And they weren't bad, but they weren't great either. Like, they were just movies, right?
Yeah.
But, like, Lord of the Rings is recognized one of the best, I'm just calling it movie for the sake of argument, one of the best movies of all time. And just the way, looking back, that Peter Jackson could actually execute his vision and make it actually good and great cinematic, action. You had that. You had actual story. You had tension. All these different things going on. Like, in retrospect, it's actually really monumentally amazing to me that it worked as well as it did,
Mhm.
and that basically it didn't get the standard, like, actually, I'm glad that it came out before 3D was a thing. Because otherwise, you would have seen, like, a Hobbit being thrown at you, like, as you're sitting there, 3D glasses.
You know the 3D's been around since the 70s, right? So it's not like it.
Well, I know it's
came
been
out.
around, but they've, like, basically the whole, like, Avatar thing really tried to, like...
Okay, so Avatar is a different ballgame than most 3D movies. The fact is that James Cameron utilized the 3D to add depth to the scenes. This wasn't the ooh, look at my hand coming out the screen.
Do you
Woo!
have your 3D glasses on? You could have seen Charlie's hand.
Woo!
Which actually, Avatar wasn't that bad, to be fair.
Well, I saw it both in 2D and 3D, and I have to say that the 3D, the way that 3D was done, where it was just to add extra depth to the scene. It wasn't, the little parlor tricks of my hand's going over the crowd.
Like, it was actually enjoyable.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't really care for however many sequels they signed on to, maybe still making. I
I've
don't know.
definitely never seen a sequel.
There hasn't been one yet, but
I thought that was a sequel.
not yet.
Wasn't there Avatar 2? I thought that was a thing.
Not yet. Details have been revealed for 2021.
Oh, well then, never mind.
They're going to have a baby.
So what was the original question? Something about, things we don't want redone.
Yep.
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody is a good one. Definitely.
Well, because I was watching a video on YouTube, and they're talking about amazing covers that outclass the originals. And so, and I have to admit, there's like a shit ton of them out there that were amazing. One of them, I can't remember the name of the song now, but it's a big song for Metallica, but it's not actually theirs.
Oh my gosh, I know exactly what song you're talking. Like, it's not a typical Metallica song.
Yes.
It's more of like a ballad type.
Yes.
I know exactly what song you're talking about now, and it really bothers me because I can hear it in my head. Yeah, the original I think is a '70s song, if I remember right. Yeah, that's definitely that's gonna bother me.
There we go.
Turn the page.
Yep, turn the
That's
page.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob Seger.
Or Whiskey in the Jar also. Damn, I didn't even know that was made.
I didn't know about that one. Yeah. Well, to be fair, Metallica didn't do a whole lot of covers before Black.
Yeah. No.
Really, after Black is when who knows what. But before Black, they're just metal, bro. Just metal.
It's Rehab.
Well, and that and Cliff Burton died too. Didn't help.
That too.
Yeah.
That too.
All right. So.
Mario Brothers the movie.
Oh gosh.
It,
But that's-
wait, okay, so
But some things work by themselves. Like Fast and the Furious should not be 8 movies. It shouldn't. But it works.
but it's going to 13.
I know. It shouldn't, but it works.
But okay, so let's say that there's like an absolutely shit-tacular movie out there that's so bad everyone loves it.
Sharknado.
Could it be remade?
No.
And people still have that.
No, it's like it's the charm of the original. It's so shitty, it's bad that it's good. That's like it's like Sharknado, the original. It's so bad that it's good, but it has that charm where a remake isn't gonna. It's just gonna be terrible if you try to remake. It's so bad it's good type of movie.
Can you do that with? I mean, I'm assuming that it probably falls in line with a video game. If it's so bad that.
Yeah, there's no reason to remake it in that case. So like, but yeah, so. I'm trying to think of other. I don't know. Songs are great to be remade. I love remixes. Not gonna lie.
Drake of the 99 Dragons was that game that I was thinking about the other day. That got a. Let's see here. A Metacritic score of about 22 out of 100.
That's probably not good.
No. And I could have bought that game for $1.29 out of the super duper bargain bin.
It still would not have been worth that.
No, it would not have.
But you know who makes really great covers?
Who?
The Proto Man.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the Proto Man. Lovely. So, Zealeus, I know that you've been all robo and everything. Have you had any time to play games?
No.
Anything on your phone?
Honestly, no. My life has been playing with robots in the real world. I've gone from this virtual device to using another virtual device
Dun, dun,
that
dun.
controls robots for world domination.
So, the reason why I ask is about the cell phone is that, as many of you have probably noticed, I've been kind of hesitant to write a bunch of reviews, and I've been spending the vast majority of my time playing cell phone games. My issue
Not
is...
Switch games?
Well, I haven't played the Switch in a while.
Oh.
This is the first time I picked it up since probably like December,
Why is that?
just because there was no games out there I wanted to play. But my issue, and I'm going to try to get better at this. I'm actually in the process of writing another review. Yes, I know I wrote a review for Cells, but that was like, that was not usually what I do. My problem with cell phone games is because they're constantly evolving. They add stuff, they remove stuff,
That's fair.
and so it's really hard to write the review. Now, of course, I've just got to like suck it up, princess, and step up to the plate and just write it to this is the game that it is today.
That's all you can do.
Changes might come. So I'm currently in the process of writing a review called Dungeon Inc., which is basically it is a funny ass game.
I lied. There actually was a game I played.
Uh-oh.
Dungeon Fester. I thought
Dungeon
I actually
Fester?
sent you a link for that one, to be honest.
You might have. I probably
So
lost it.
basically, it's a. Oh my gosh.
It's a zombie game.
No. Oh, I have a total brain fart. It's a roguelike card collecting game.
Mm.
And it's a fun game. So basically, what happens is you go into a room and there's a bunch of cards. You have to click the cards, and you have your character who has health.
Mhm.
And basically, what you have 4 different suits.
Mhm.
And you cast cards using those suits. Well, I think they call it like runes in the game or something, but they're basically card suits. And so you can also get swords for like your attack. And basically, every time you flip over like one of the board cards, it could be a enemy or something along those lines.
Ah.
It's then you attack it.
Kind of sounds like One Deck Dungeon.
Yes, it is a lot like that. But the difference with this game is the stages are a lot easier than One Deck Dungeon because One Deck Dungeon gets
Jesus
hard
Christ.
really quickly.
Yeah. Second level, okay.
The thing I found with these kind of games, though, like the One Deck Dungeon type of games, though, finding that balance of difficulty is really, really freaking hard.
Agreed.
Because what ends up happening in this game, so I have not actually beat the game because it's like 40 levels or something. But what happens after you get like a little bit powered up because you get like a little bit more health, you get your ruins, you get your like attack, it becomes a breeze, and you know it's going to become a breeze for about 15 stages.
And then you can hit a wall.
And you're going to hit a wall. But there's not really a great way of increasing that power. So like you can, so there's one of those games where you get, I think they're like bones, and then you can level up cards and your character. Level up your character is pretty much worthless, which kind of sucks. You get like one extra sword you can get when that
I figured like the only
context does nothing.
you level up your hero simply so that you can advance the gameplay.
Pretty close. So that's kind of like One Deck Dungeon. That's it's an enjoyable game, but it's just that you're finding that sweet spot for difficulty for those kind of like roguelike card games. It's super. And like I'm not this is not critical at all of the developer because it's just really, it's not for lack of effort or that they just put out like a piece of crap game. It's just hard, man.
Well, the other thing is that there are millions of players out there, and everyone's going to play the game slightly different. So your way of playing it, you might be like, oh, I kind of missed the mark. But there could be people out there like, oh, man, this is so on.
Now, to be fair, I don't think the game missed the mark. I enjoyed the game.
Right.
It's just that balance between repetition and newness in the game. That part just wasn't quite there for me. But it's a game I would recommend checking out.
So one of our commenters in the chat has said cell phone games also have the issue with a lot can fall into pay to win kind of thing, free to play, pay to enjoy, and other things. Absolutely, and we've talked about this before. For me personally, it's I'm okay with if I feel like if I'm feeling like I got enough out of this game that I'm willing to drop, $1.99 or $5.99 or $9.99. I'm totally okay with that. Smacking me upside the head every single time I open up the app or between every single fucking stage, no.
Yep.
And I'm not, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. When I run up against these type of games, I immediately delete them. I'm not going to talk about them. They're out of my head.
That's something Dungeon Faster does well. Like there are things you can unlock. Actually, the only thing you can unlock is basically like your basically patron level, for lack of better terms. Like you can become like a baron or king or king, which gives you a few little enhancements, but nothing game breaking. But it only like does it in between rounds. So it's like it doesn't break the immersion, but it's also different because so like the vast majority of the mobile games, it's all about pay to win.
Oh, of course.
Well, the problem is it's not just pay to win; it's pay to gamble. They don't call it that, but it is.
Well,
Because you're paying to get
loot box.
You're paying to basically get crystals to be able to draw your random summons. Is usually what it is. So it's in a roundabout way of gambling. Is all of them.
Don't even get started on the games that, for whatever reason, advertise the game with fake game. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Okay.
Everything on Instagram.
Basically, anything that has, what is it, scape in it. It was like gardenscape, cityscape, townscape. Total bullshit. It's like, oh no, this is an issue. What item do you choose to successfully navigate this issue? That does not happen ever in the game.
My favorite is when it's like a screenshot from like Diablo or World of Warcraft. Like just straight up. I'm like, I've seen that game before. That's not your game.
Oh no. I detest those stupid ads that trick you.
Yes.
And then, like, yeah, sometimes I'll get suckered in and I'll play it for like 2 seconds. Like, that's not the game.
Like, what was it? Like AFK Arena, I think was one.
Yeah.
Where it's like they have like basically tower defense modes in the advertisement. But then you play the game and there's absolutely zero tower defense, which just boggles my mind even more. Because it's like, why do you advertise a game mode that doesn't actually exist in the game.
No, okay, so there's I don't remember what the name of the game is because I deleted it pretty damn quick. But it was a game that was all about merging units together to make a stronger.
Oh, I don't get. I have it downloaded. I know what game you're talking about.
But
AFK merge or something.
no. But the funny thing is, it ended up being a tower defense game that you don't actually like combine. Well, you sort of combine units simply because you have these different towers, and once you have two of the same type, you can combine them together to make it a level 2 tower. Of course, you have to have gold. Then to increase the level 3, you got to do 2 level 2s together to make a level 3.
I think I actually played that game.
And I was just like, but in the ad, it's talking about this crazy, sexy, hot witch lady that you combine with another crazy, hot, sexy witch lady, and it makes it a uber sexy witch lady that casts spells and destroys everyone. When is that oh, it's not in the game.
Sorry, no sexy witches for you.
Damn it. No, but you...
Yeah, it's a nuisance. Where like that and the false advertising, which the game's been out like 2 days, and all the reviews are like WCK 475. This game is the best game ever. I could not stop playing for 8 straight days.
But it's not been out for 8 straight days. Or you talk, all those games that you'll win real money. Play for free today.
Oh gosh.
But you won't actually win any free. You won't actually win real money if you play for free.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And there's also, I fell in love with a type of game called Picross. It's basically, it's kind of like you get a grid, and there's a picture hidden in that grid, and basically there's numbers on the side that tell you how many squares in that grid need to be colored in. Or if it's like a 2, 3, 2, then it's like 2, and then there's got to be space, then 3, then space 2, or something like that. And it draws you the picture. I love those games, but for the love of all that's fucking holy, dude, they try to nickel and dime the shit out of you. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, there's like 20 levels on here, and 10 of them are going to be for like 10 gems, which is what you get every single day. And some of them are going to be for 15. Some are going to be for 50. So what you're going to end up having to do is just pay us the money so you can keep playing the game. Because you're going to get to a point where you can't do anything else.
Well, it's like Candy Crush was notorious for the second that you started to pay money to basically help you out in the game to make it easier, it subsequently made all the levels more difficult.
Yep.
So you had to continue, so it could increase that difficulty fold to make it more difficult than it would be if you didn't play.
Well, you're paying for the real experience now. They don't have to baby you no more. But like I said, if I put enough time and effort into the game, like the game sells, I did do some microtransactions there, because I was having a hell of a hard time beating the dinosaur level before they updated it, and now have fixed the issue I was having. Because
what was the issue?
The requirements, the number of dinosaurs of specific type was so astronomically huge that it was impossible to reach it.
So,
like I played 4 straight days of just jumping back in there and watching the ad to get the double bonus.
Yeah.
And I still got like 5 more dinosaurs, still 47 to go.
Jeez.
It's just, yeah.
I think I got to like level 34 in the dinosaur and have it like
37. I'm up at 37.
I don't think I've touched it since then.
37.
When the new game mode comes out, I'll probably pick it up again.
Yes.
Beyond or something, I think.
Yes. Yes, I too will go back. I've been putting my time and effort into Dungeon Inc. and a solitary RPG.
Interesting.
It's kind of fun, You basically, it's got you've got a different layout of cards, and it's the solitaire rules of ace to king and then ace to 2, and different cards have different abilities. You're trying to clear the thing or do some special thing of remove all the gold cards from there, and it advances you, and you're rebuilding the town or the world one by one. Crusader King 3 is coming. All hail. Sam, since you're here, we had a question of what thing, probably a game or a movie or a book, do you think should never, ever be remade? Or, as Zealeus put it, what piece of media awesomeness should never go cross media, like book to movie or movie to book.
But I'm also confused though because Sam is advertising for a strategy game when we all know he's just all about Battlefield. So I don't quite.
But it's real
understand.
time in it.
I've never actually played for Crusader Kings, but it's not Battlefield. So I'm just totally confused on what his needs are.
Oh, it's Paradox.
Ah, Paradox.
Yeah,
Do you have 800 hours of your life to devote?
maybe.
Because it's Paradox. And that's
Call me next week. Let's see what happens.
Oh gosh. If I find you like in your basement with like an OD like drip in your vein from Mountain Dew, we'll know why. Because you got a
Okay.
Paradox game.
Look, to be totally honest with you, I am trying to control my caffeine addictions. Okay.
Yeah, I'm addicted and I'm happy now.
No, I'm not. I literally cannot stop at all. Like I have to have some sort of like sugary caffeine because my brain chemistry is all effed up now. If I don't, it is the worst. It's like the most debilitating migraines I've ever experienced in my life.
Acceptance is the first step, sir.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Anyways, Crusader.
Would you like a pen for your one day without a drink?
I had one today.
Fine.
It's an upcoming. Oh, it's an upcoming grand strategy game set in the Middle Ages, developed by Paradox Development Studios and published by Paradox Interactive as a sequel to Crusader Kings and Crusader Kings 2. The game was first announced during PDX Con 2019 in October 2019 and is set to release in 2020.
I mean, for everything I've read, like Paradox's Crusader Kings and actually Europa Universal's 4s are like the primo strategy games. It's like it makes Civilization.
What the hell is grand strategy, though? Okay, but here's
Civilization and like I imagine Civilization is for like a 5-year-old.
Here's Wikipedia's definition: is a war game that places focus on grand strategy. Wow, that's really.
Wait, I remember like my English teacher would like tear that up and give you F if you did that. You cannot use the word of the definition in describing the definition. It's against the rules.
It's military strategy at the level of movement and use of an entire nation state or empire's resources.
Basically, you control everything, and there's like lineages.
So like
and,
a good
marriages.
version of Lord of the Realm, and not that shit-tacular Lord of the Realms 3, which I still very vividly remember walking into let's say GameStop or an EB Games. I don't remember what the hell it was called back then. But walking into the store and staring someone down who was looking at the game and like, look, I could take a shit in this box for you and it'll be a better game for it.
I still have fond memories of trying to like balance out your cows with your fields, your toiled fields.
That was 1. 3, they basically threw all that shit out. There's like nothing there.
Because they didn't till the fields correctly.
They didn't do shit.
That's the problem. You have to have your cows to share the fields so that they're fertilizer so you can grow the crops.
But I need my grain. I need my stone. I need my sheep. I need my cows.
I gotta build my over-engineered castle that I'll never actually be able to build.
I was always able to build my superiorly, retardedly difficult castle. It was awesome. And then they basically just to be honest with you, Lord of the Realms should have never been remade. The sequel should have been disowned, and they to me they are disowned because they basically removed chunks like why do I keep saying Lord of the Rings? Lord of the Realms 2 basically removed the randomized maps. You had to play in like historical maps, so the areas were really, really freaking small. They also removed the ability to customize your castle. Now they added back the customized castle feature in Lord of the Realms 3, and but they basically took out all the micromanaging. It was like
that was the best part.
I know. I was like, dude, do you have any idea how hard it was to balance the sheep and the cows and the grain? And
that was rough. I was like, what you got like just right. I was like,
But Lord of the Realms 3 did give you back your castle creator, but it kept the shitty small lands from number 2.
So basically, the first one's the best.
Yes. Sometimes the original will be always the best.
So what it sounds like, we need an updated remake of Lord of the Realm.
After they make an updated remake of an official Masters of Magic.
I don't think it's ever happening.
I know it's not. The Lord of the Realms reboot won't happen either. I don't even know who the hell owns the rights at this point.
It's probably half the problem.
Microprose? Interplay?
Firaxis?
Doesn't Firaxis still exist?
I actually don't know.
Oh, God.
Because isn't that the company Sid Meier did after Microprose? I don't even know.
Firaxis was founded in 96.
Yeah,
it's
no,
still
it
there.
exists. Yeah, it's still a thing.
Yep, Sid Meier, Jeff Briggs, and Brian Reynolds.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
Huh. Interesting.
Games developed.
Ooh.
Let's see.
What's the most recent game is what I'm curious of.
Good question. Civ 6?
Of course. Why? Oh, they do make XCOM.
The original?
Well, XCOM 2. I don't know if it's the original was for Axis, but yeah, there's XCOM. Well, I should never play, but I heard really good things about.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to remind everyone out there that Alter Confusion will be at MomoCon, which happens May 21st through the 24th. Charlie will be there 23rd through the 21st through the 23rd.
I was like, wow, you'll be the 23rd through the
Yep.
23rd.
Yep. Just the 21st to the 23rd. I will not be there the 24th because I'll be on an airplane going somewhere else. But we will have a table there.
Leaving on a jet plane.
I fucking hate John Denver.
I can
Seriously, real quick, some background. At one point in my life, wanted to learn guitar, but the only guitar teacher that we had only wanted to play John Denver songs that I had to sing along with. Fuck you, John Denver. The only John Denver song that's worth anything is Flight of Dragons. If you don't know what that is, you need to Google it. You need to find a pirated copy of that movie. It's phenomenal. It's probably terrible, but it's phenomenal. And you'll thank me later. But anyways, so MomoCons happen, of course, May 21st through the 24th in the Georgia World Congress Center here in Atlanta, Georgia. We, of course, will have a fan table. I am hopefully getting my press credentials. We have put in for 2 panels. One, of course, is Video Games Changing for the Good? ? And the other one, which, of course, I've already forgotten what the name is, but it's something along the lines of trying to avoid the pitfalls when releasing in your indie game.
basically just don't release it in the first place.
No, just understand that once you're done with making the game, that the fun has just begun.
There's more fun.
Requirements, tasks, missions, quests.
A real life quest.
You basically have just left a tutorial. This is basically Final Fantasy. Which one was that? 13? 13, where the tutorial is, was it 35 hours long?
I don't know if it's that long. Maybe
32 hours long.
30-ish.
Yeah, it's basically that. So anyways, MomoCon, check it out, momocon.com, I think it is.
Momocon.com.
Yeah, momocon.com to find out all the information, like who's going to be there, other than Alter Confusion, because you already know we're going to be there. But I mean, you got so many freaking awesome people showing up. Of course, you've got Phil Lamar, who's basically going to be the big name right now. He, of course, is from Mad TV. He's Marvin in Pulp Fiction. He's the voice behind a shit ton of characters. So, yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But, and of course, Charles Mironet will be back. That's the voice of Mario and Luigi and Wild Luigi, which is not how Wild Luigi sounds. But if you were paying attention, Eddie Webb's going to be there. Oh, shit, I definitely got to be there. I got to bring him something I need him to sign something for me. But yeah, there's going to be, Jason Marsden's going to be there. Why will you not be there? Damn it. They're amazing people being here. There's always a lot of voice actors there. It's always entertaining to Mike Coulter. Luke Cage is going to be there.
He's a big man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, he is. He's quite the big man. Okay, seriously, I need to find a way to, like, get all these interviews done because, dear Jesus, I don't know how I'm going to do this. See, that's the beautiful thing about Alter Confusion is, well, for me, is I literally, I think I get my press credentials simply because I'm the one who interviews almost all the indie developers, which is going to be really freaking hard since I'm losing an entire day. But I'm going to do it, damn it.
So many days.
I'm going to do it. I promise. I'm going to figure it out. I think so. Do they have any information up yet? Oh, they got a showcase up yet? No, it's just
Generic
put your stuff in there. Damn it. No, I was hoping I could get like a leg up to find out who the hell is. Let's see here. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I got 12 of those 20.
60% success rate, sir. Not too shabby.
I was the only one who's doing it too. But anyways, so ladies and gentlemen, are we going to do this next Thursday?
Yep.
Zealeus doesn't have to fight any other monsters?
I think the robots may be forced to take one more week of a break.
Boon to bar.
Before they come and crush my soul.
Ah, yes, soul crushing. Don't recommend it. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is probably where we're going to end tonight's show.
Depends. Who's stealing your soul? Okay.
To be continued. You will find out who's stealing my soul on next week's Thursday Night Hangout.
To be continued.
To be continued. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Alter Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure giving you everything come in our heads, our mouths, and, of course, our hearts. We'll be back next Thursday for another Alter Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother. Woo! Outro. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We see you soon.